If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah, baby, I got you. 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 Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. The world is going wild when they call for you. And the river's running dry when it all falls through. Don't you worry about a thing, baby, I got you. Yeah, baby, I got you.
Definitely, I will try it on in my house.
Lisa.
All right, today we're going to talk about how we can find out and how much we can find out and what it takes to get there. So first we have to decide how much do we want to find out. So let's say in this case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. That there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
And guess who effed around and found out today? The British tabloids, y'all. Victory is ours. And I just know that there are some people who are throwing up, who are incandescent with rage. You got capillaries popping. You got high blood pressure going up all over the place over in the United Kingdom. Because today the tabloids entered the find out phase. And I think there's going to be more finding out coming. because what Prince Harry has accomplished today is going to have serious knock-on effects for anyone seeking press justice. This is just the beginning, y'all. This is just the beginning. Yes, Prince Harry won his trial, his hacking trial. Now we're going to get into all of that in detail, but let's say our welcomes and cover a couple of other things before we get into the main story. But some very, very good news. To be honest with you, I haven't really been following the dates of when things were meant to happen and go to trial and judgments and stuff. So I wasn't even expecting this today, to be honest with you. I wasn't actually expecting this until maybe January. So surprise for me. A very jolly surprise for all of us. Yes, Annie, sing the goodness of God. Testimony of truth indeed, Annie. Hi, Carol. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Fancy Fancy. Hi, Libby. Joan Garcia, Dorothy Ross. Hey, hey. Hi, R.R. Carter. Yeah, last night, or actually rather early morning here in Bali, there was one of the worst thunderstorms I've ever heard. I know that the rain and thunderstorms are legendary here in Bali, but this is the first time I actually experienced it, so it woke me up really early. I couldn't get back to sleep for a little bit, and then I did fall back to sleep, and I went into such a deep sleep that I woke up late. So that's why that's why there was no podcast this morning, because I was just like, I can't drag myself to get it done right now. Just as well, actually, because if I had done one this morning, I would have still been tempted to do another one this evening. So we can just do everything together in this podcast today. Carol, you said Duchess of Success and Baron worked so hard to give us information about things. Yes, I think everybody in this space works super hard. I work hard, Baron works hard, Facts and Two Cents works hard. The Twitter crew, there's a whole crew on Twitter that do spaces almost every single day. They work hard too. And y'all show up and you share and you support and with your time, with your money, and you have helped us basically create a whole press pack that pushes back against the mainstream press pack. And so we're all part of this and everybody should be proud. Thank you so much, Lorna, for the super chat. You said, I believe Paul Darcy, is it Darcy? Darcy knew of the decision when he published that letter. Remember, judges make decisions, law clerks type them out. Exactly. And I'm going to get into this as well because I just find it so suspicious that Paul Darcy and wrote that letter, and then Charles just happened to go to court the day before this judgment was coming through. I think there was some kind of leak, either some kind of leak, or they were very nervous because they knew that things would go this way. Disgusting man. We're going to get into him. Funnily enough, have I not been wanting to do an expose on Paul Darcy for a long time on this channel, but I keep pushing it back and pushing it back? He decided to open his big old mouth, big old Daily Fail editor mouth, and reminded us that he exists. So I will do that expose. Thank you also to Black Queen. Yes, David slew Goliath today. Indeed. Right, let's get into some other things. Right, yesterday, I actually forgot to mention it at the end of the podcast because I didn't have the pictures on slides yet. But yes, Meghan made a surprise appearance at her friend Miss Anne Harriam's premiere screening of The After. And she actually moderated it along with the film star and director. I don't know if I'll have time to watch this anytime soon, but I will definitely watch it eventually and support, and I would encourage you to go and support The After as well. Great to see Meghan supporting her friend and wearing a beautiful tailored all brown suit, very much Meghan style, often replicated, but nobody pulls it off like her. This is signature Meghan, fitted, comfortable, those smooth lines, the color blocking, very natural with the makeup. You know, she has her own signature style, and she always has. We don't have video of this as of yet, but if it pops up, I will let you know. But gorgeous pictures of Meghan, who's just living her best life and carrying on despite all the drama. And Mithan was also on Sky News, and he was asked about, you know, photographing Harry and Meghan. The journalist wasn't too rude, to be honest. It was a genuine question, but it would have been nice for them to just, I guess, focus on Mithan's work as a filmmaker. But yeah, she wasn't too snarky in the way that she asked that question, and he answered very politely and just said, you know, it was an honor to photograph them and watch their journey. So that was a nice little moment on Sky News. And Miss Anne also posted a picture of Harry saying, you know, good luck with the judgment. And he's also posted the follow-up judgment that names Piss Moron. So, you know, great to see Harry and Meghan's friends publicly coming out and supporting. And it must have been, well, we know that they've been supporting in private, but um, we know that anyone who publicly supported them in the past was just attacked. And so it must be a relief to be able to be more public and bold, because the way things were in the early days, awful, absolutely awful. There's actually a clip of someone who took a picture with Meghan in before she even really got famous on Suits, and the British tabloids actually tracked this guy down, and were trying to find out, you know, had they dated. This isn't the Rex guy, by the way. This is someone else. I'm gonna find that clip again and post it, because it just shows just how bloodthirsty these awful tabloids are. Anyway, in other news, William is hugging people, which I guess is a step up from a smile here and there.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time, and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's just more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So, you know.
I mean, one thing at a time, right? A smile here and there, then some hugs. And then, you know, there was that time when Kate showed up to the food bank and started organizing the food cans. Maybe one day we'll actually show up to the food bank with food. And then maybe one day we'll actually sit down and talk to our Tory friends about their austerity measures that led to us having more food banks than McDonald's outlets in the country. Little by little. But William is now hugging people. And of course, we cannot have a conversation about William hugging people without talking about Harry. Now it's William, not Harry, who's the Prince of Hugs, as these heartwarming pictures show. Diana would have been proud. I think this just shows how much the palace is not only in the past, but has no originality whatsoever. So we are in a different time. Okay, we're not just out here hugging. We need to be out here engaging with lawmakers and making impactful change. The days of hugging are long gone. And even Diana, in her short time, made some significant impact. With HIV and AIDS patients, with the landmines, she wasn't just hugging people. But it was revolutionary at the time because royals were just so damn stuffy. And the idea of a royal hugging someone was just almost out of this world, because of the distance that the royals kept between themselves and normal people, because they wanted to, you know, uphold this mystique that is just no longer relatable. Right, get your comments. Yeah, Marcia, that letter was a threat to all the royals, not just Harry. But the way it specifically mentioned Harry and Diana, I thought was just so crass. Oh, was it Descoeur? Thank you. Paul Descoeur. Paul Descoeur is a deeply, deeply demonic man, indeed. Joni said, Duchess, you're always on the case and we love it, and I appreciate it. Keep up the great work, then. Thank you so much, Joan Garcia. Thank you to all of you. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, Dorothy Ross. When you piss, you go down the pan. Down the pan, they all go. Okay. Next thing. Yeah, people were not buying that charity PR promo that Kate did for the baby banks. To the point where you now have even the Duranders coming after this. The whole comment section of the Sky News post was just pretty brutal. You've even got comics, making cartoons here. Give me 1 sec, folks. I actually need to plug in my laptop, or it's gonna die. Give me 2 minutes. And we are back. Sorry about that, folks. All right. As I was saying, and here are some of the comments from that Sky News post. How do they do that with this? How do they do this with a straight face? Indeed, that's a very good question, Darvo. Good job those cameras were there to catch it. With TV cameras in tow, what a load of nonsense. They probably thought it was a place where you deposit babies. No one is asking why parents can't afford presents. She could quite easily speak out and raise awareness, but chooses to give the impression that poverty is just something that exists. Some people are poor, so we're not, so we must help them. What is the point of her? This is what happens when you keep doing the same thing, even though the times have moved. And Taylor here saying, I think putting it the best, a poverty safari for the children whose parents are the richest benefit claimants in the land. Literally. Literally. Oh dear. And all this just after the reports have come out that show how much the royals are actually costing us and how little we're actually getting from it. And William's quest to end homelessness is going quite poorly because, according to one report, 140,000 children in England will spend Christmas without a home, research shows. Section 21 evictions, enabling landlords to evict renters at short notice without having to give a reason, are the leading cause of homelessness. I mean, this one guy who William has posed with 3 times, on one occasion while wearing his Rolex, William can't even get this guy off the streets. What more the thousands of other homeless people in the United Kingdom? And the thing is, nobody is actually expecting William to solve the entire homeless problem. But the very least that you can do is engage with the right organizations and speak up about policy to help us move in the right direction to impact change. Out here claiming that he's going to be superhero and end homelessness and apparently build homes on the Duchy estate, the last we heard. Haven't heard anything about that since. Right. I'll get your comments and then we will get to the next thing. Sonia, I would be interested to know how much of his personal money did Prince William donate. I mean, his personal money is the taxpayers' money. It's, I mean, obviously he's got the Duchy estate and also the other estate. Is it the Lancaster one? But that I would still count that as the people's land. They just profit from it. And as we now know, if you don't have a will, they can take that property also. Thank you so much for our new member, Abby. Thank you. Much appreciated. Three Impossible, you said, I was never in doubt of the rulings in Harry's favour, even if with his father's visit yesterday. It was ruled and filed to be released for today. Yes, indeed. Mary, is Piss more on the hospital or is that an old picture? It's an old picture, but you know what? I think we're going to get a new version of that picture very, very soon. I hope so. I really do hope so, because he deserves it for sure. Thank you so much, Correlita Simon, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Okay. But yeah, this was the scene outside of court yesterday. Charles visiting the royal courts in central London. I think this was a post from one of the royal rota rats saying, King Charles arrives at the High Court in London. No, he's not in trouble, but there to celebrate the exceptional work of court staff. The visit coincidentally comes 24 hours just before the same court will rule on Harry's legal case against Mirror Group newspapers. I mean, it could have just been a coincidence. They're saying that he was there to visit court staff, but I don't know. Coincidence or conspiracy, y'all decide. But what was also weird, of course, was this. This post by Paul Decray, Didi. Paul Ann is never going to get his name wrong. I'm just, you know what? I'm going to call him Paul Doodoo. Yeah, Paul Doodoo. That's going to be his name now. Because he literally is a doodoo. Before I actually read this, I want to just give you a little bit more context, those of you who don't know who Paul Doodoo is. Paul Doodoo is this guy, former editor of the Daily Fail, who had the audacity to run for the chairman of Ofcom, which is meant to be the press regulator. He also called former Conservative Prime Minister David Cameron a cunt for holding the Leveson inquiry. Now, I don't know why Paul Doodoo was so mad at David Cameron for holding the Leveson inquiry when in the end, everybody involved just got a slap on the wrist. Mind you, Paul Doodoo did have to actually testify at the Leveson inquiry. So that's probably what he was mad about. But did anything happen to Paul Doodoo or most of the people involved in the hacking scandal? No, they got a slap on the wrist. In fact, David Cameron went to Rebecca Brooks's wedding when she remarried. Rebecca Brooks, who was one of the people at the center of the phone hacking scandal. This is also a man who led the charge for Brexit. So this is who we're dealing with. Just bear that in mind as I read out what Paul Doodoo said in The Spectre. Right. Let me get this on my phone because the writing's a bit small. I don't want to be squinting reading it on the screen. Where is it now? Okay. So, truly, Harry, who is engaged in a preposterous legal contempt with the Mail, is his mother's son. While the prince is filling his boots by turning his self-pity into an industry, his mother, I would argue, invented the art of victimhood. That insidious, debilitating, very modern malaise. The irony is that, unlike Harry, whose hatred for the Mail is almost as great as that for his father and brother, Diana was rather fond of us. She read the paper, so did her friends. In the vicious post-separation propaganda wars between Charles and her, she's not, oh boy, the male, whose target audience has always been upmarket women, unashamedly took Diana's side. Frequently, well, he says took Diana's side. Well, that doesn't necessarily let them off the hook. Because as Harry has always said, it's the tabloids that causes a lot of the friction within the royal household. Anyway, frequently I was invited to Kensington Palace, where a moist-eyed princess would emote about the unfairness of life, the beastly palace, and the ghastly rumours being spread about her by Charles's friends, before reverting to one of her favourite themes, that her husband would never become king and that the throne would jump a generation to William. Fast forward to that terrible day in Paris. Dame Anne Leslie, the Mail's brilliant and combative foreign correspondent who died this year, went on the airwaves. Yes, it was a tragedy, but Diana, and I paraphrase her loosely, was a vindictive, self-pitying minx who had wreaked huge damage on the monarchy. These people, hell is not hot enough. For the only time in my 28 years as editor, the office switchboard crashed under the weight of enraged callers. But Anne had a point. Diana may not have been over-furnished in the attic, but she had a near genius for manipulating media by creating unforgettable, haunting images of herself as a lone victim. They're writing all these things about Diana. But I'm sorry, how much money did they make off of Diana? Some of these people made millions. And we're talking about one woman who, despite her flaws, nobody's saying Diana is perfect, was up against an entire institution. So what do you expect? If you have nothing and you've got really no one to turn to, you're going to basically pull at everything you have to survive. But the audacity to talk about this, to talk about a woman like this, who first of all isn't here to defend herself because she's dead, and you are partially the reason she's dead, the press is partially the reason she's dead, but then considering how much money they made off of her. Some of these people will be sending their children's children to private school in the lush green hills of Norfolk for generations because of the money they made off of her. Where the dancing stands behind with Wayne Sleep sitting alone, wounded doe eyes by the Taj Mahal, giving succor to aid victims, walking through minefields or utterly isolated on the end of that diving board on Dodie's boat. She was a picture editor's dream. In this bitter war of poses, Charles's camp never stood a chance. Yes, the side that had the courtiers, the press, all the power and resources, that side never stood a chance. Or maybe it's because people could see through them. A thought. After her death, the endless tsunami of flowers, messages, and mourners flooding Hyde Park, most of whom were women, many, I have no doubt, who felt badly treated by men. Yes, men like you, poor doo-doo. Sanctified Diana, princess of victimhood. It also marked a milestone in the softening, or arguably weakening, of a British psyche that for eons had disdained a showing of emotion and admired the pull up your socks and get on with it fortitude and self-reliance. And of course, such values are anti-pathetic to the blame everyone else, self-pity of the me, Harry and his B-lister wife. B-lister, but she's making you millions. B-lister, but she's making you millions. Let me tell you, as an actress, is not in the same league as Diana. Born on exactly the same day as Charles, I have referred before to the fact that at the palace, I am known as the twin. A former Daily Fail editor is known as the twin to Charles in the palace. Let that sink in. So I hope the king will not consider it lèse majesté if I offer my alter ego the following altruistic advice. Sir, the one mistake your saintly mother made was to allow the monarchy, who should be timeless, to become a celebrity institution akin to show business in its vulgar values. This has, I mean, akin to show business in its vulgar values. Listen, you lost the right to sit on a pedestal the moment Prince Andrew was frolicking around with Jeffrey Epstein. So please don't try to put yourself above show business. This has reached its inevitable nightmare in the monstrous self-indulgences of Prince Harry and Andrew, putting Prince Harry and Andrew in the same sentence. Sir, please sit down and eat your food. Sit down and eat your spiceless food. You and William need to return the crown to institutional obscurity. Well, they can't do that because if they're not seen, nobody will care about them. It's the media that will suffer. The great royal soap opera of the last 30 years has sold billions of papers. So he's admitting that it's a soap opera that just is there to sell papers. You can't say that this is some grand institution and then also in the same paragraph basically just refer to it as a soap opera that sells papers. The great royal soap opera of the last 30 years has sold billions of papers, particularly for the Mail. The less people know about you, the more your mystique will increase. Dare to be boring. Your family in the British Constitution will be the happier for it. If they return to their mystique and are seen less, they will literally just drop off the face of the earth. Nobody will care. They're barely caring now. In fact, they're only caring because newspapers like the Daily Fail continue to put Kate in her pretty dresses on the front cover. Otherwise, everybody will just get on with their lives and worry about whether or not Kim Kardashian has got another butt job this month. That's what people would care about. Sorry to break it to Mr. Paul Doo. Right. That was a whole tongue twister for me and my stuttering tongue to have to read. So let's get through your comments before we get on to the next thing. But yes, this was what was posted by a former editor of the Daily Fail a day before we find out what is happening with the hacking trial. And do not forget that Paul Doo was part of the Leveson inquiry. All right, Lightside is here. Okay, Lightside. Okay, Lightside, you're gonna speak first. So I will. Here is the link. If you want to jump in, actually, Lightside, you can jump in now. But everybody else, I will take you afterwards. Okay, thank you to Rochelle Cherry for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Let's see. Get through some of your comments before we move on. You're welcome, Abby. Thank you so much. You said the truth is out. Camilla and team have no runs, no sleep, no peace. I hope they don't get no sleep and no peace. Okay, so before I let Lightside on, let me just actually get to this part and then we will discuss. Yes, so breaking news. There was extensive phone hacking by Mirror Group newspapers from 2006 to 2011, even to some extent during the Leveson inquiry into media standards. A High Court judge has ruled following a trial featuring the Duke of Sussex. The Duke of Sussex's phone was probably hacked to a modest extent by Mirror Group newspapers, a High Court judge has ruled. The Duke of Sussex has been awarded £140,000 after bringing a High Court phone hacking claim against Mirror Group newspapers. And let's just acknowledge that this isn't just about Harry. The fact that Harry is doing this is significant because, of course, he is a prince of the British realm and his family have done nothing but be in bed with the press and are very much at the mercy of the press. But this is really about everyone in the United Kingdom and how we move forward with press accountability and how we hold the press accountable. Because unless you have the amount of money that Prince Harry has, it is very difficult. Even top celebrities cannot afford to take trials like this as far as Prince Harry has taken them. And even if they do have the money, sometimes they still hesitate because of the way that the press weaponizes information. They'll go after you for other things, or they'll leak your, other secrets or whatever else they might have on you. And what we have witnessed is the British tabloid press, the Rupert Murdoch, Jonathan Rothermere, Paul Dudu tabloid press, going after Harry and his wife, making threats to the other royals to try and get Harry to stand down. This is so significant that I can't even really find the words for this, because this isn't anything that I thought I would see. And just so much respect for Harry, because it really just can't be stated enough how significant this is. The press in the United Kingdom rule the United Kingdom more than the politicians do, I would argue. So this was from Bylines. They said, okay, the summer damages 140,000. 18 of the Duke's 33 articles were not unlawful. So all the other articles were. So it was proved in 15 of the articles. Now, from what I had understood originally, he only had to win one to win the whole case. But there were other reports saying they had to win 10. Anyway, he's won 15. And he's won payout. So that's great. And the judge in the Prince Harry case finds that key members of MGM board concealed phone hacking from the Leveson inquiry. And let's just listen also to what Prince Harry's lawyer said outside of the courthouse. This is... Okay, just give me a sec. Okay. Let's have a listen to this. I've also posted this as the video, by the way.
Today is a great day for truth as well as accountability. The court has ruled that unlawful and criminal activities were carried out at all three Mirror Group newspaper titles, the Mirror, the Sunday Mirror, and the People, on a habitual and widespread basis for over more than a decade. I'd like to thank my legal team for so successfully dismantling the sworn testimony of Mirror Group's senior executives, legal department, and journalists who at least turned up to court, unlike their colleagues who were perhaps too afraid to do so. This case is not just about hacking. It is about a systemic practice of unlawful and appalling behaviour, followed by cover-ups and destruction of evidence, the shocking scale of which can only be revealed through these proceedings. The court has found that Mirror Group's principal board directors, their legal department, senior executives, and editors such as Piers Morgan clearly knew about or were involved in these illegal activities. Between them, they even went as far as lying under oath to Parliament during the Leveson inquiry, to the stock exchange, and to us all ever since.
And the Lord said, amen. Right, light side. You're up.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Hi, squaddies.
Hey.
Oh boy, it's a lot this morning.
Right?
It is, and I apologize for swarming you with the stuff. It was just coming in hot and heavy.
I appreciate it, because you know something? I was actually in the nail salon when all this was going down, and my phone had actually, like, the battery had died. So I was just like, I'm just gonna enjoy being in the nail salon. And then it's like I switch on my phone, and there's a call from Karen, and there's all in my DMs. I'm like, oh my god, what's happened? What's happened? Has Meghan come back to Instagram? Do we have the picture for the Christmas card? Oh no, Karen's on his case. So it was a nice surprise.
Little did you know, but it's always like that when we step away from social media. But you know, I said this before, that it's hard for you, Baron, for Facts, for everybody, that, you know, our whole crew of informants that we have following the cases, to get a break, because it almost, I don't know how this is possible, but almost every day something else comes out.
Yes,
you know,
else, yeah.
And you said it earlier with the spaces, like when I catch it, I always find a little bit of information, because that whole crew on Twitter, they're on top of it too.
Yes,
but I haven't been able to read through everything. I would like to read a small snippet of something in regards to Piers Morgan.
Oh, do you want to read what Meghan posted?
Yeah, Meghan posted it, and some others actually did too. And
I
I'm
don't think I have it.
reveling in this. Huh? What
Hang
was
on a
that?
second. Is it this one that's on the screen, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's
Okay.
that one. I'm gonna tell you this. Like he's blocked me. It's blocked a couple of us.
Yeah,
His
I'm blocked
other
too.
account, his other account is still open, but he's been denying this whole thing. I think an article came out. I think it was May of this year, where he
Yeah,
vehemently denied that he had
yeah.
anything to do with any of this stuff.
And he threatens anyone who says that he was involved in phone hacking with lawsuits, but he never follows up because he knows that he was.
Exactly. All talk. All talk. And I want to say that you're right earlier that more stuff is going to come out because they found him guilty. How much you want to bet that everybody else associated with him
Hmm.
are also tied into this, including Camilla,
Yes.
right? And no, I don't know what your stance is on this, but I also think that Charles showing up yesterday was not just a coincidence. I think somebody leaked some stuff to him. I think he was privy to some information that could have been coming out today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna put that out there. It's too close. It's too like. Did any of us know that this was gonna come out today? I didn't know that. I wasn't expecting this news for a little bit. There's so much going on with the cases that it's really hard to keep
Yeah.
up sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just for those listening, if you're listening at work, let me just go ahead and read this real quickly. Pierce
Yeah. Go ahead.
Morgan knew about phone hacking and was involved. When he was an editor of the Daily Mirror, the High Court has ruled. In a highly significant part of the judgment, Mr. Justice Fancourt lists times when Morgan was said to have been aware of phone hacking, and the evidence had not been contested. He also said that he found evidence about Morgan's involvement to be credible, and it had not been countered by the Mirror Group. During a key part of the case, the now royal author Amit Scobie recalled an incident he had witnessed when he was a student intern at the newspaper group, working on its 3 a.m. girls' entertainment desk. He told the court that in 2002, he had witnessed Morgan discuss an article about Kylie Minogue, and Morgan, the then editor, had asked the journalist how confident they were about the story. Morgan was told, Scobie recalled, that the source had been a voicemail. Mr. Justice Fancourt said that recollection was supported by evidence of an invoice from a private investigator related to obtaining Minogue's mobile phone number, and that her then partner, James Gooding. Scobie said that the incident had stuck in his mind because it had influenced the decisions he made about what kind of journalist he wanted to be. And we all know that he has very much stood out very differently from the other
Yeah.
royalists that are there too. But this is what I really loved is the judge's statement. I found Mr. Scobie to be a straightforward and reliable witness, and I accept what he said about Mr. Morgan's involvement in the Minogue Gooding story. Validation all around,
Hmm.
complete validation.
Because
Validation for Omid.
they've kept on wanting to paint this narrative that Omid is a friend of Harry and Meghan, which isn't true.
And we still don't know what happened with that edit, right? We still don't know what happened with
Yes.
his book and how that draft ended up being in the final print. What is really going on?
Hmm.
So I when I tell you I did a little happy dance this morning when I saw the news, I'm like, do New York Times breaking news, Harry wins case. I
Yeah.
w I was like, "Wow, I did not see this coming," because a couple days ago, we heard that you reported on this, that he, had to pay a fine, a libel that he had
Hmm.
lost, right? And I think my understanding of the libels is that, like, each side gives an argument. If they win that argument, then, great, they probably get, like, a certain amount or whatever, but
Hmm.
I didn't look at that and say, "Oh, this is a loss for Harry," because I knew in my heart that he would not have taken it this far and put himself out on a ledge like this if they did not think that they had something there. And the vindication. I don't know if you guys have probably seen this all over GB News, Sky News, every
Yeah.
single UK
Oh yeah,
news.
even GB News is bowing down.
Even
Bowing out
GB
for
News
this
is
one.
bowing down. They are behaving. And
Yeah.
even them admitted and said that a lot of people may look at this and say, and criticize Harry for what he's doing, but we need to remember that this is huge. This feat that he has achieved is a huge thing. And another person on the panel said this cannot have happened if this were just regular people, because they run you through the mill so much that you cannot afford the process.
Yes.
So I'm happy for Harry and Meghan. I'm happy for the squad because we've always stood behind them. We knew from the beginning, even when we didn't see everything laid out,
Yeah.
that this was coming, and more questions now for the royals, more questions for the reporters that supported this behavior. Who else was involved?
Yes. Indeed. And happy also for, even if not everybody in the country understands or even appreciates this, but happy for the United Kingdom as well.
Yes, huge step.
Huge step in the right direction. All right, thank you so much, Lightside. You can stay and jump in when you feel like. I'm gonna let Valerie go next, but let's try and keep it to like 2-3 minutes each, guys and dolls, and just try and keep it to the topic of the day, like Harry's case, and just kind of surrounding this topic. Okay, Valerie.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Anne,
Good evening,
and
long time.
good afternoon. All I have to say is I'm really pleased that he won. And when I heard that he won 15 out of the 33, is it 15 out of the 33
Yeah,
cases?
yeah,
That is almost, that's nearly, that's almost, no, I think
yeah.
that's
That's
nearly
half.
half. That's a
Yeah,
lot. He
yeah,
won. And what I really have to say, and all this when he and what I listened to the when listened on BBC News when David Sherman was saying, he read his statement. He's a very articulate and intelligent young man. The way he phrased his sentences, and when he said they had all sorts of vendetta and threatening and all that sort of thing, and he blasted them, telling what they did and what they're saying. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. And as for his father, he's a disgrace. And I have a strong feeling that he did certain things, and that's why certain people are not here. That's all I'm saying. Paisley, he mentioned him. He mentioned Jesus. He mentioned Piers Morgan.
I mean, I haven't. Has anybody like checked on because Piers Morgan's blocked me on Twitter? So has anybody checked on Piers Morgan on his Twitter? Like, is he?
No. He's going to be dragged to Kingdom Come.
Oh God.
People must. I'm sure the derangers, other people must have been are in incentives with range. Paul Dykers, when he is upset because they all of them are getting fined and they're losing. That's why he's upset. That's where he go and what he wants. Even if he cuts off Harry, he's a private man. I don't know what they want him to do. The only thing, unless if they want him to be killed, then he will stop thing. The jokers.
Well, bravo to Harry.
Well done. The ancestors and Jesus Christ are working. The ancestors and Jesus are working very hard to make sure justice. All the lies they've been telling us for years.
All right. Thank you so much, Valerie. Lovely to hear from you. Lovely to hear your voice.
Bye-bye. Yes, you too.
YM Droid, how are you doing? Are you feeling more settled? How have you been?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, darling.
Okay, perfect. I started with the phone this time, so I said, okay, let me not mess around with anything. I am actually dialing in today from Mumbai, so I'm like right up the street from you. Yes. So a colleague is getting married and invited me to their wedding, and I figured, you know what? I've already had a funeral this year, so let me go for a wedding, or for another one. Second wedding of the year, but first Indian wedding. And after what I just spent on my sari and jewelry, I'm looking for an invitation to more Indian weddings so I can get my money's worth.
I mean, if I was invited to Indian wedding in Mumbai, I would be straight on that plane. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing experience.
Yes, I will be paying this off for the next 7 months, but I was like, you know what? I said, when am I going to have this chance again? So let me go for it. So yes, I'm on in your neck of the woods, sort of, or at least similar time zone. Finally to you.
I'm so glad to hear some joy in your voice also.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to go. I'm super excited to be here. But man, congratulations to Harry. And I could not agree with Lightside more. I'm firmly in the Charles conspiracy camp. I think his visit was probably who knows what were in the claims that were lost, or that they said didn't, like kind of come from phone hacking. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe some of those were the ones that were from Palace insiders, as Baron likes to do in his voice. Hello, Daily Mail.
That's actually a very good point.
Insider Camilla here.
Yeah, I'd like to know which ones were actually lost. That's a good point.
Yeah, I like I said, I wouldn't find it to be too much of a surprise if they just happen to be some of the ones that came from Palace sources here, in the in that deep chain smoking voice. But man, congratulations to Harry for sure that he prevailed anyway. And yeah, Paul Dippity Doo and Pierce Moron are, of course, they're going to be in their decrepit, evil feelings. I guess when you're the villain and you're so used to winning, or kind of getting your conniving way, when finally a little bit of it is called out and recognized, you're just like, oh no. We all know that they've lost the narrative. I think, hopefully this is the start of people who don't follow as closely seeing that they've lost the narrative, and yeah, just hopefully more positive things and fewer stories that do go through from quote unquote Palace insiders, whoever they may be, to get through. But it's really a feat, and it's really, like you said, I think just it's got to be a win for the people who probably would have liked to have done what Harry did, but didn't have the resources and didn't have the money to put up the fight. So even though I don't know how many of their cases were included or got through with this, like I think what is it, Baroness Lawrence, I believe, who was one of the claimants. So I'm not sure what happened with the other cases, but I'm guessing that they don't have the same level of resources as Harry did. So I just hope that, like, even though it goes to him and it goes to his cases, that for them as well, it gives them a feeling of some type of justice. And just hopefully, I think for the British people in general, that unethical practices and unethical news gathering in the way that they've done it is something where they see that it does have consequences now, and hopefully they cut back on.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the most powerful thing of all of this. That what you've just said, why Android, but also just encouraging more people to come forward. And actually, if you have a big class action lawsuit, then everybody can pile their resources together.
That, yeah, I don't know how that works in the UK versus the US. I know certainly there are certain attorneys here who really specialize in that and gathering people together. So if that is something, I think, where there are smaller ones that can come together on the back of this, would just be even better and even more amazing. So the rest of them can do whatever they're doing, which honestly, like, I haven't even paid attention to, I guess, just because they already know that they can't sell any stories not involving Harry and Meghan, and they finally tried to push some about, ooh, look, the Cambridges or Wellses or whatever their name is this week, they went to the Sears Portrait Studio and got a family photo. Just like you, they can show up to the mall. Just like you, they're making home videos, encouraging people to get into the Christmas spirit, while ignoring the fact that they could probably donate some of their massive wealth if they wanted to do something in the Christmas spirit. But I guess we'll let that slide.
I mean, the British public have been letting it slide for a while. So, what's new?
It is. I mean, you know, like, and of course this year, like who knows, like how much they have to spend on apple sherry and oat treats for Camilla, you know, or any special, you know, carrot and hay dessert that she might be into. That's got to take up a significant portion of their fortune. And yeah, those mall photos, I hear the prices are going up on those. So couldn't have been cheap to get all those Christmas cards printed this year. So who knows? Everybody's got their expenses. We'll let them just, I guess, continue to do theirs. But I think for everyone concerned, we know that Will still has enough to afford what was it, like a 9,000 pound watch or something while he's ending him. Oh yeah, exactly. Like, so I think that certainly warms everyone's heart to know that while they're in the warm banks and while they're stopping by the baby banks, that the patrons are now, it's not just a kind word and a smile here and there, but yeah, now they're showing up with flashy jewelry to bring everyone joy with the sparkle on their wrist. So there you go. That Christmas spirit from the House of Windsor. Can't beat it.
Absolutely. And with that, I will end the podcast. Thank you so much, Warren, for always bringing the humor. And I hope you enjoy your big Indian wedding. Amazing.
I am here for it, literally. Can't wait. Everyone have a great day.
You too. Okay, I'm so sorry. There were a couple of people that were trying to get into the chat. I did say, sorry, guys, no more callers, sorry. I just kind of want to wrap things up because we're going on almost like an hour now. But thank you so much. What a lovely day. Thank you. Patricia Quenchel of the Superstar, thank you. Just a reminder, guys and dolls, always grateful for any donations. But just a reminder that YouTube takes 30% of everything that you donate. So if you could donate through Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal or something else, that would be great. Just because PayPal takes almost nothing from me, and Buy Me a Coffee I think only takes about 3 to 5% or something. So just more goes to me if you donate through those avenues. But nonetheless, very grateful, and thank you to everyone who's given super chats and super stickers and joined memberships today. Generosity is always appreciated. Thank you to the mod squad for keeping our space clean. I think I've blocked maybe 900 people in 2 years. But I do try my best. It's not always, possible to block out all the trolls and haters, but I think we generally do a great job, and I appreciate the mods. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. You know what I think would be the cherry on the cake? A picture of the Sussex family, Big Lilibet and Little Lilibet. I think that would absolutely be the cherry on the cake after this. All right. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Ciao.
If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah. Baby, I got you, I got you, I got you. something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. And the world is going wild when they call for you. And the river's running dry when it all falls through. Don't you worry about a thing, baby, I got you. Yeah, baby, I got you.
Hello, my royal diamonds. Thank you so much for tuning into the Duchess of Success podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment on the video to help the algorithm find us. It is my pleasure to bring you all of the royal tea, honey. And if you would like to donate to the channel, please check out the links in the description box. All of your donations help to keep the channel running. Thank you for your support, and remember, you don't need a crown to be royal. We are all queens.